What is something that you should look out for in the next 6 months as we reach spring and then summer here in the Northern Hemisphere? Let's find out. You are watching Sweet Infinity. If you're new here, welcome. And if you are coming back, thank you for coming back. Welcome back. My name is Kieran. Today, I'll be reading from the Citadel deck. This is a fantasy oracle deck. It's gorgeous. One of my favorites. Comes in a box like this. And inside, we have these cards that have this octagonal shape. And a lovely little guidebook that explains the cards too. So I'll read from that as well for you. The artwork is among my favorites. It's black and red with this beautiful copper inlay that I just absolutely adore. So let's shuffle and get started. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. We are small but growing, and we focus on creativity and spirituality, learning from each other, and getting in touch with our inner creator and our inner creative person who has so much to offer to the world and so much healing that we've already done and that we will continue to do. And if you're interested in healing, spirituality, and creativity, then please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you'll get notified. Okay, let's pick a few cards and see what comes up. We have the Enchanter. Let's pick some random ones. The Herald. The Chiromancer. Let's start with those and read some of the descriptions. Beautiful imagery like that. There's a skeletal hand here, the Enchanter, deception or trickery. The Herald, small regrets or longing. The Chiromancer, delivering news and collaboration. In this book, there's these little icons. And if you want to search, you have to basically look for the icons. And there is an index in the beginning as well that can help you look for stuff. So let's find the Enchanter. A flash of flame, whirls of green smoke, and a flock of doves that appears from nowhere. The audience applauds. The Enchanter takes a bow. They know how to entrance and entertain, and with a century of arcane learning behind them, they never put a foot wrong. But is it truly magic, or is it all smoke and mirrors? You may be in a situation where you've been forced to deceive another, and whether it was intentional or not, you run the risk of being caught out in your lie. You could back away, hoping that it'll be forgotten about or resolve itself in time, but you run the danger of it spiraling out of control. Or you can own up and take responsibility for your own actions. The decision is yours. Let's look at the Herald. Nimble hands pluck at the strings of a lute, and fragrant smoke curls from beneath the wide brim of a hat. The Herald exudes an easy sort of charm that draws others to them as they play their tune. But beneath that smile and easy laugh, there is an undercurrent of melancholy. They think back to the day that their life changed, to the flowers on the hillsides, the hares in the grass, the guard waiting in ambush. Would their fate have been different had they taken a different path back then, or would it still have turned out the same way? It's easy to get caught up in the what-ifs, but if you go forward, holding on to all of those little regrets, you're going to miss out on the pleasures of the moment. Be your own herald of change and bring something new and more positive into your life. Don't let the force of your own feelings separate you from finding joy in the path you're on now. So this is about deception and coming clean. If there's any secrets or any other deception that you have been part of, willingly or unwittingly. This is about letting go of past regrets. And I feel like there's a connection here about somebody who may have done something wrong, whether it's you or someone you know, and they might feel that they don't have the ability to change their ways. They regret having done something wrong. They regret the deception they took part in. And they want to stop it. They want to stop being complacent and compliant. But maybe they don't know how. And they feel constant regret because they wish they had taken a different path at some point. So let's look at the Chiromancer here. The Chiromancer, gentle hands take yours. Fingers dance across your palm, seeking out lines and hidden shapes. And when you look across at the Chiromancer, there is a smile on their face. But behind it also the hints of a frown. Being able to read the future is both a blessing and a curse, but it is a role that the Chiromancer is prepared to fill. You have a message to deliver, or something that you've been meaning to say for a while, but it may not be a message that someone is ready to receive. Be careful about how you deliver it and choose your timing carefully. The outcome may depend entirely on you. These cards are telling me that there is some piece of news or piece of information that, were you to share it, would relieve you from the guilt that you carry. Something that you have been holding on to, something that you have been part of that was not good, that maybe you realized only later in life that you were part of something that was harmful, deceptive, and you regret it. And at this point, you're kind of hoping maybe that nobody will notice or that the whole thing will just fly by. But the truth is that the temporary discomfort and even the stigma that you might face for disclosing this information to the right people when they need it will help so many people that it will end up unburdening you. It may not completely resolve your conscience. It may not completely undo what has happened, but it will definitely relieve some of your conscience. And that might be what's coming up for you in the near future. What I'm seeing is that there is definitely a way that you have been trying to run away from the very thing that you need to face. So what I'd like to do is pick a few more cards and see what else comes up. Now, this could be someone you know. You could be in the middle of all this. It is possible that you are the recipient of some kind of information. That's possible too. So there's the Catalyst and the Waker. These two are also interesting. This one says radical changes and taking control. And this one says awareness and reflection. Let's read about those two. The Catalyst. Artifacts lay scattered across a table. A diviner might be able to decipher their meaning, but to the Catalyst they are just a frustrating jumble of clutter. Wherever they go, they seem to be the insider of change, whether they intended to or not. They have toppled empires and ended the reigns of kings. And though something has always grown from the rubble, they're always left wondering what calamity comes next. Life does not exist in a state of stasis, and meaningful development only comes from change. To resist it is to resist growth. You must become the catalyst that shakes the very foundations of life. You are the hurricane that blows the cobwebs from the corners. You are the bolt of lightning that topples the tower. You may not know what form this change will take, but change has to happen. Through upheaval and chaos and destruction, you will be able to start anew. And the Waker. Two siblings sit in a room, one sleeping, the other awake. Neither moves, neither addresses you, but when they speak, their words are pure prophecy. The Waker is a keeper of knowledge, the one who sees all with an unblinking eye. They see everything that happens in the world and all that will come to pass, but are blinded from self-understanding. Right now, it's important to practice awareness of your surroundings. Current events and the lives of those around you can be overwhelming, but you're only ever seeing part of the story. The ability to think critically and ask key questions is an important skill. Be perceptive about the situations happening around you and trust your own gut before acting. Inner and outer events are connected. So if we look at these 5 cards, what I'm seeing is pretty massive changes. You may not feel like you have a lot of say in those changes, but you may feel that you are still a part of them. You are being called to step up and take some of the control and be the catalyst that you know you have to be, that you know that only you can be. You are being asked to trust yourself and trust the future. Trust that you may not know where you and others are going to end up, but you need to do the right thing at the right time, and you will know what that is. But it's very, very important to do the right thing at the right time, to not just run away, but to collaborate with others and to allow the small regrets to go their merry way. Everybody has small regrets. Everybody has some regrets. And the question is, are we going to have small regrets or are we going to have huge, big regrets? Especially As we get older, as we face our own mortality, as we face our children, are we going to be able to face them? Are we going to be able to face our conscience? If we have been part of something that we realize now was detrimental, are we going to be able to face the truth of it? So are you better off being in front of it, sort of releasing the information and taking responsibility for your role before it's too late, before it's thrust upon you? You know, there's a certain grace that you can get if you are able to step up and say, hey, you know what? I'm a whistleblower. This is what happened. This is what I saw. I'm a witness. And there's a grace in that others can give you versus complacency that goes on and on and on. And at some point becomes just part of who you are. And there's a lot of people like that in the world. There's a quote by Martin Luther King that in the end we will not just remember, and I'm paraphrasing, that in the end we will not just remember the way that our enemies were, but also the silence of our friends. The idea being that if we know something is wrong, someone's being harmed, I think it is our individual responsibility to try to stop the harm in some way or another. And at the very least to get some air in the room so that somebody else can handle these things, you know. I mean, in a way that's safe. You know, I don't want to put you in any jeopardy, but there are ways where things can be disclosed. So my point is that this is saying that there's some secret, maybe in your family, maybe in your community, whatever, that you may be privy to, and that may be useful to other people who are suffering because they don't know the whole story. There's missing pieces that you might know of. It's something to consider. And I think that as you go along the next few months, keep an eye out for that, and keep an eye out for other ways that you can find a way to reconcile the different parts of you. That's, I think, also another message that I got from these cards. So I hope that that was interesting and useful. Hope it gave you something to think about. If you would like to purchase this deck, I'm going to leave affiliate links in the description. Come back and I'll do another reading for you. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And have yourself a sweet infinity.